mic check. And then we should be all ready. Interested to see what you think about that news today. That was big. I had so many people call me.
Yeah, I know vaguely. Well, we'll talk about it when we get to the pod, but when we get in there. But I know vague stuff. I don't know that much in much detail, so we'll see.
Yeah, you sound good. Let's get everything ready. Alrighty then, yo, what it do, GG Nation, GG Legions, your fella again, Straussman, the GG. My bad, we were supposed to do this a couple weeks ago. We were trying to snag JJ back on to talk about gaming in 2022. What we expect. That's going to be the topic for today's episode. Gaming in 2022. A lot of big starts to the year for Sony and Microsoft. We'll get to that. We're going to talk about the big three. We're going to talk about some of the other biggest companies in gaming and see what they're probably up to. We're not going to cover every single company. There's a bajillion gaming companies. We're going to try to talk about the biggest ones, everything that comes to our head here. Also, if we don't get to the company you want to talk about, just drop it in the comment section down below. Let us know what you expect from them. But this is going to be another fun one. Crazy morning to start out with. But let's get into some fun. Make sure you drop a like, smash the hell of the like button, comment down below. Definitely hit that sub button. And make sure you have that noti bell on. But I got skipped to my Lou. I was able to bring him on today. How you doing, Lou?
Good. Very well today.
It's gonna be a fun one. Just another real nice one. Last time we talked about end of the year gaming and how everything was. What's up, Shannon? How you doing? Showing love already in the channel. Appreciate all the love and support. I apologize for the lack of content. It's going to be a busy week, though. We'll talk about the Bungie thing. I'll do a video on that. Also, I got about 20 hours in Arceus. I'll talk about that. Probably won't do a spoiler cast on that. Horizon will probably be our first spoiler cast of the year. But it'll probably be in March. It takes, the fellas to get some time through. And I got JJ's family coming down as well. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good start to the year. But let's start with the backlog is real. So what have you been gaming in 2022, Lou? Have you been able to trudge through the backlog a little bit? I know Uncharted Legacy Collection, not Legacy, but Uncharted Thieves Collection dropped not too long ago. Plus, the new Pokemon game is out. But how's gaming in 22 treating you so far?
So far, really well. I went back and I redid Far Cry for the PS4. Just need one more trophy to get the plat there. Let's see. I did some of Scarlet Nexus. I put that on the backlog until I was done with Far Cry. Got the plat for Among Us for PS5. Working on a PS4 one. Working on my 2K guys. I mean, I've had a pretty good January, and I'm excited for what's about to come through in February. So it's been. There's something else that I'm forgetting that I did. Well, obviously Uncharted. I mean, I got the plat for the PS4 version of 4, but I want to replay it again on the 5. So I'm already on chapter 5 with that. I've had a pretty good month thus far. It could have been a little better, but I've had a good, fun month, I would say.
Yeah. backlog is definitely real for everybody. Everybody's got things going on. So many video games, so many sales. We bought a lot on sale. I've been doing quite a bit. I did new Super Lucky's Tale Platinum beginning of the year. Also, want to show some love to 13 Sentinels. Platinum this last Saturday, not the Saturday that just passed, but the previous one. What a fucking interesting game. Such an amazing game from Atlas and Vanillaware. Wow. It was just, to balance 13 characters so well in a story, it was just fucking good. It was definitely easy plat. Been doing Assassin's Creed. I put on the Assassin's Hood. First time in a long time. Been playing some Valhalla. I got 28 hours into that. Been playing some Soccer Wars, which I just bought on sale with my Christmas money. I want to get Deathloop going. I did the first opening 30 minutes of it, and I enjoyed that. But the backlog's real. But 20 hours of Arceus already, like I said. I did pick up Metroid Dread, and it was excellent. Excellent so far. I want to play more of it, but had to put it on the back burner a little bit because of the newer stuff coming out. And plus, Platinum Grind is always real. Always real. Played a little bit of Among Us, stuff like that, but I've been all over the place. Playing some JRPGs here and there. I think I did Far Cry last time. I think it was before January. I think it was December last time we had that pod. But man, it's been real. Time is flying. Tomorrow, in a few hours, it's going to be February 1st already, and we're going to have Horizon in a couple weeks after that. So, plus there's new Destiny DLC that month, and plus Elden Ring. I'm going to have two of those. I'm going to have Elden Ring and Far Cry. Not Far Cry, I'm sorry. I don't know why that's in my mind all the time now. It's just so good. So excellent. The real Danny. Real Danny.
No comment.
Yeah. No comment. But just having a lot of fun, man. I was just blown away by some of these. Oh, yeah, and Final Fantasy X. I've been dipping back into Final Fantasy X. I'm literally at the final stages of that game, but I've been doing all the Celestial Weapon Bowl crap, like the Chocobo racing and lightning dodging minigame. So, trying to get through. I don't know if I'll platinum that one, but it was just, I just had the itch to play Blitzball, and that's the reason why I kind of dived into that game again. But hard to believe that game's going to be 20 years old this year, or 21 years old this year. It's hard, like, damn. I remember being a young kid, and that was one of the games that got me into JRPGs. But backlog's real. Tell us what you guys are gaming down below. Let's start with the big three. I actually want to start out with Nintendo. What is Nintendo gonna do for this year? What are the big games for Nintendo? What is everybody thinking collectively? Obviously, Pokemon Legends of Arceus just dropped. It's gonna sell. I'm gonna tell you guys already. It's gonna sell a bajillion fucking copies because it is just Nintendo. In general, I'm having so much fun with it. It's refreshing. Like it's so easy to say it's Pokemon Breath of the Wild, but it's kind of what it really is. Pokemon is a traditional JRPG about battles, and this is more about exploration and just catching Pokemon, not battling trainers. You're not battling a shit ton of traders and getting gym badges. It's like 1,000 years in the past. It's before Sinnoh actually became a thing. It's pretty damn fun. Like, I've been really thinking about this, and I talked about this with JJ a day or two ago, I think a couple days ago. And I'm like, you know, Nintendo might not be there graphically or story-wise. They're not, like, they do have powerful stories on the Switch, like the Xenoblade games. The Xenoblade games are excellent, have really good stories to them. Fire Emblem Three Houses, excellent story game. Plus all the Square Enix exclusives they tend to have pretty good stories as well. But gameplay is king for them. They do such a great job with gameplay, and I think that's why they get away with being like 10 years in the past with a lot of shit, because the gameplay is just so fun in a lot of the games. Mario, Zelda, Metroid, Pokemon, they can just rely on that, and they are the king of software, man. All the games are selling 30 million fucking copies of everything. I expect this game to do the same. It's going to sell a lot. Is it the perfect Pokemon game? No. Hell no. There's definitely some flaws and some problems. Some issues, you know. Is the old formula perfect too? No. Like a blending of the two. We'll see. This is probably going to be a new spin-off game for them. They're probably going to keep making more of these. Obviously, they did the Sinnoh region because in November the Diamond and Pearl remakes came out. So it's really interesting. I'm only in the second area. I really love the alpha Pokemon though. The shit's dope. It's awesome. But they potentially have a lot on the plate, Lou. What are you thinking? Put your Nintendo cap on. What's coming out this year for them?
Well, you think that Zelda game's coming out this year?
You and me talked about this quite a bit on the pod, and I don't think Breath of the Wild 2 makes it, to be honest.
You don't think it makes it? I don't think it makes it either. If anything, I think it does come out the early half of 2023 now.
Yeah.
So, do they come out with another Mario game? Do we see another Mario game? I think it's about time.
Absolutely. I think it's time.
Let's see. Bayonetta game is coming, right?
Yep, Bayonetta 3. Is that going to make this year? I'm going to put money it doesn't, I don't think. I don't think Bayonetta 3 makes it. I could be wrong, though.
Yeah.
But I don't think it makes it this year. I think it's labeled. I don't know. We're going to have to double check that. Or comment down below.
I think Splatoon
that
3.
That's going to be this year, I think. That's going to be the big game for them, I think. At least the big summer game.
You think that's going to be a winter release, or you think that's going to be the summer release?
I think that's the summer game.
So this is where I'm trying to figure out. I think they're going to announce something during the year that's going to be the winter release.
Yep. They'll have something. I mean, we got a Pokemon game already. Do we get another one?
Yep.
Do we get another one this year? Do we get 2 in 1 year? I don't know. Maybe. What sport is Mario going to play this year? You know, are we going to get an Odyssey 2? Are we going to get a remake of something? A remake of Metroid Prime has been rumored for a while. Are we going to see any new IPs? Switchy 2? There's a lot of potential for Nintendo this year. I want to go out on a limb. I want to see if we at least get an announcement of a Switchy 2. We're about to... I think we'll get a Nintendo Direct in February. February, I think. But go ahead.
Now, let me ask you, if they do announce the Switchy 2, is this one of those ones that come out right away, or do you think it comes out in a couple of years?
If they announce the Switchy 2 this year, bank it next year. I think it'll come out with Breath of the Wild 2.
Okay, so you think like next...
You broke up, sorry?
Sorry, I got a phone call there. But you're saying the early half of 2023. Well, that's what I predicted, is the early half of 2023.
Yeah, whenever Breath of the Wild 2 comes out, I think that's when we'll see the Switchy 2. I think they're going to be co-assigned together. Yeah,
because for me, I figured that the Switchy 2 would be next year.
Yeah. And
they would announce it next year, but who knows? I mean, they could release it this year with a new Mario game.
They could.
If they do. Odyssey 2.
You're absolutely right. I think they'll announce it this year at E3 or something. That was my guess.
Yeah. Yeah, so Nintendo's very tough for me just because of the simple fact I never really know what they're doing. Yeah. And when you try to predict what they're doing, you predict big, and then it ends up being something much smaller than you predicted.
Yeah, smaller.
You know? Yeah, so
Also, for the audience, this is, we're not analysts or anything like that. We're just having fun and just talking what we actually think is going to
Yep.
potentially happen. We do this a lot because it's fun. The year just started. Some big shit has already happened this year and this first month. But Nintendo, like Lou's right, Nintendo can be sneaky because Smash Brothers is done, right? It's over. Are we gonna get a new Mario Kart? Splatoon 3, I think, is gonna be the big summer game.
I
Bayonetta
think a new Mario
potentially could
Kart
be.
is coming.
I think Bayonetta could potentially be the winter game, the November game, but I don't know yet. Like I think there's a lot of surprises. We're getting Mario and Zelda every year, but what are we getting? Are we getting remakes? Are we getting new Mario and Zelda stuff? There's like almost every year. There's like 6 new Mario games. It feels like, right?
Yeah.
Whether they're big or small, or he's playing sports because he's the most athletic person in the world.
I like to see, and I've mentioned this quite a number of times. A Strikers game.
Yes, Mario Golf too. Yes, yeah. I know we just got another golf game, but we could use another.
I think our sports game will be Mario Kart 9. I think that's going to be his sports game of the year. And then
that'd be a good call. What about Nintendo Kart? We've talked about that a lot too, right? Why don't they just do like a Smash Brothers with Mario Kart? Just have everybody.
Yeah, that would be nice. Man, Nintendo is just always so tough. When we talk about Nintendo, because there's so many ideas, so many things that they could do.
Yeah.
And yet, it's like, oh, well, we're going to get this. Oh, well, we're going to get that. And it's either fucking awesome or it's just like, oh.
I actually don't think it's too bad. Like, if they only have Pokemon, Arceus, Bayonetta, and Splatoon 3 this year, that's still pretty fucking big. I think that's huge. Plus, Mario and the Zelda game, whatever we just don't know. Which way are you leaning? Remake or, I do want to predict, I think I was shocked we didn't get an announcement of a Fire Emblem game last year. I think we do this year, and it's a remake. I don't know what game they're going to do. Maybe 4? Remake 4? That was the rumor. But I think Fire Emblem will come back this year, and it'll be a remake. It won't be the new one. It'll be the remake one. Because that's kind of what they do. They've been flip-flopping. They'll be like, they'll do a new one, they'll remake one, they'll do a new one, they'll remake one. Supposedly, I forgot to mention, Legends of Arceus, there's a leaked expansion for like 172 new Pokemon. So, expansion pack already probably in the works for that game, and makes sense. Refresh it in 6 months. They've pretty much done an expansion pass for all their games besides like Odyssey and a couple others. We did finally get one for Animal Crossing, right? Metroid hasn't got one yet. I'm assuming maybe down the road.
We did get the. I wonder if we would get another Animal Crossing expansion.
Yeah, I mean, what is Animal Crossing done? Like, are we gonna? What's gonna go on? They could continue the flow of content for the game. Yeah, and obviously, there's one thing. I apologize. Sorry, Lou. There's one thing we didn't cover either. Is they need to, holy shit, step up the online service with the N64 and the Sega and the shit. Like that has to get way better. They have to do a better job at that. But go ahead.
Didn't they say they were adding? I think it was Majora's Mask to the 64 stuff, or whatever, the backwards compatible games. I think that was supposed to. I don't know if they did or not, but I know they need more content for that, in my opinion. But
yeah, I think they do, especially what they're they're charging a very premium price for old shit, and that's the nicest way to put it. I love that old shit. I don't want to make it sound like I'm very nostalgic of all that stuff. But they need to be better about it. You can't charge people $80 and then the N64 runs at 2 frames a second when you could just emulate it on your PC. And I'm not saying you should do that, but if they can do it, you need to do it. You need to do it better.
Yep. Yeah. And Nintendo, like I said, man, it's just hard because I can sit here and throw out a whole bunch of different things, and I know it's just a guess and it's a fun and stuff like that, but they're really, really hard to see what's coming next.
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
the fun
So,
about it, though. Are we going to get like a new Star Fox game, right? That's been rumored forever. According to Seth here, I think it's Seth. It could be JJ. What up, Seth? They said the new Switch is going to be called New Switch. Switch New. New Plus.
yeah.
I think it's time. I think it's time for Switchy 2. I mean, Switch hasn't slowed down at all. But they have a history of this. They always do new models. The OLED just came out, right? Has not stopped them the next year to do another new model. But I think it's time to upgrade. Let's upgrade a little bit. Just give us the same shit, but in 4K. And
Yep.
we'll be okay. Then you can call it a Switch 2.
Yeah.
I think Splatoon 3 would be big, though. I want to call new Fire Emblem, Switchy 2 announcement, Splatoon 3 summer, and Bayonetta winter. But
I'm gonna
I don't know.
say we're gonna get a new Mario Kart.
Nice.
Probably winter. We're gonna get a new Splatoon in the summer. I think this is probably gonna be the year of Mario, and I think we're gonna get a new Mario game.
Yep, I think
think
that's
it's-
safe to say. I mean, they have never gone a year without Mario and Zelda, so they're going to be here this year. I want to
And,
say,
A remake is coming. I'm just not sure what,
yeah,
because there's so many ideas that are out there. I'm not at this point. I'm not very sure what's coming. I mean, it could. I mean, Nintendo is just so. They could just remake Splatoon. And
what
we're
about
okay.
the rumored of
You know-
Metroid Prime remake? Do we see that? Because Metroid Prime 4 clearly is not ready. I don't think
Yeah.
we see that this year. But what about Prime remake that's been floating around? Or the
I would like to
trilogy?
see that. I would like to see that. The trilogy seems a little far fetched for them, but
Yep.
yeah, I would like to see that for sure. I don't think Nintendo would do 3 in 1. I think they would do one at a time so they can make the most money. But we'll see.
Seth makes a good point. Mario Rabbids this year too. I think it was originally supposed to be this year and got pushed back to. I mean, last year
Oh,
it got.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point, Seth. That is a good point. I'm glad I thought of it. God, I'm so talented, amazing. Shout out to my little cuz. Good job, bud. Yeah, that'll be one Mario game, but there's more. They're not gonna. There's gonna be another one. For sure. I want to go out on a limb, and I want to say Star Fox comes back some way, some form, whether it's a remake or the Wii U version of Star Fox Zero gets redone and put on Switch like they did with Skyward Sword.
You might be hanging on that limb for a long time, just like that rumor.
I don't think so. They brought over every Wii U game besides 2. So I'm assuming they'll bring that one over eventually, right? I mean, they brought Tokyo Mirage Sessions over, and most people didn't know that was the Atlas Persona type game. So, great game. Definitely fun on the Switch. All right, let's move on to Microsoft. They made a seismic crater magnitude 9 type move a couple weeks ago. 68 billion worth seismic move, like a huge move of acquiring Activision. A lot of people freaked out that day. A lot of people were messaging me, calling me, freaking out. Oh, it's over for Sony. I've seen it all over the internet. Sony is done. They're kaputs. Then a lot of shit came out. A lot of shit came out. Obviously, that they're gonna keep Call of Duty and a lot of the multi-platform releases the same. They're gonna keep them going on all platforms. They're not looking to pull communities. All the new shit they're gonna create will eventually only be Xbox and PC. But the Call of Duty contract, I think, is still going till 2025, 2024. We'll find out then.
2027.
2027, you said?
Yeah, supposedly it's 2027,
Okay.
and the deal is what is it, 3 to 4 Call of Duty games?
Something like that.
So
Because they have three
that didn't
studios
include
working
this
on them.
one. Yeah, it did not include this one.
Okay.
So if there's 3 more, yeah, that's about right. It will lead up to 2027. Yeah.
I think
So
they'll renew that anyway, because you just would lose a lot of money if you just pull Call of Duty. Um, and they already said it's really interesting because they kind of did the exact opposite with Bethesda, right? Like, Starfield's exclusive. You know, we're gonna honor the 2 Sony exclusive games, but everything else is gonna be exclusive for us. They had the team that did Deathloop already. They're doing that vampire type, Left 4 Blood type game, 4-player co-op shooter that we saw premiere at E3 a few months ago, like 6 months ago.
yeah,
So they got a lot going on. But are we gonna see any more? We saw Hellblade a couple months ago or a month ago, and game doesn't look close to ready. But we got Halo? Are we gonna get a Gears announcement of Gears? What's going on in Microsoft's plate, Lou?
can I say one thing before we get into that? Because I do think a Gears is coming this year, an announcement at least.
Yeah,
But I want to say one thing real quick. I think what Microsoft, and we're going to get into Sony's recent acquisition later.
yeah,
I think what they're doing is just very smart.
yes,
And what I mean by that is you acquire Activision. Bethesda's probably going to be their exclusive games where it's going to be Xbox and PC.
yeah.
But
You
I
thought
think
that deal was big. That's $67 billion more, or like 64, 62 billion more than that.
I think that we're at the point where both parties realize the console war is dead,
Yeah,
and now make your money and expand gaming. And I think that that's exactly what the last 2 purchases are. Like, I don't think like Activision and Xbox, Microsoft would be really just dumb
yeah.
to just put Call of Duty on Xbox and PC. They would just be dumb.
They would lose a shit ton of money. I mean, a lot of money would be gone. And I hate
Right.
to break it to everybody. It's all about making money. No matter how much you
Right.
love Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft, and you're gonna fight to death for them and buy their shit and love their shit. At the end of the day, it's about making money. That's why some IP, if you notice, not every IP is around anymore, right? A lot
Yeah.
of IPs died. A lot of
Yes.
IPs died. Luckily, we're the remake phase, and I know people hate that, and they're already sick of it. Remake, remaster, definitive edition, director's cut, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Whatever you want to label it, everything in. It's a very viable option now to bring. Like, look what happened with Crash and Spyro. They got another chance at life, and the remakes were excellent. But I agree with you. That's a very smart move. Very, very smart move. They kind of got Activision on the low. They were trying to sell to Facebook and other companies. They didn't want to sell to Microsoft right away. But it sounds like they got a lot of off the field issues. We'll say. Obviously, that's not this podcast. We're not talking about that. But they have a lot of off the field issues going on with Activision Blizzard. Huge seismic move. I think it's a smart move. I think it's really interesting to see where everything goes forward, and the new IPs. Are the new IPs going to be good? But that's going to be far down the line. I mean, we're going to be much, much older on this channel when that shit happens.
I think it's a brilliant move, and I've said this for a bunch of pods that Xbox needs to invest in shooters.
There's no proof of that.
They need to invest in shooters. And you said, well, single player games. Don't get me wrong, you can still do single player games. Yeah. But you can't just do single player games when your audience is shooting McShooters. Like, it's just that's what brings you to the game over there.
Yeah, but they're not making those exclusive. But what did they do at E3? Most of the games they showed were shooters. All their new IPs were shooters.
Yeah, but this is where Xbox Xbox, and we'll mention Sony later, is going to be smart about it.
Yeah.
They're going to have Call of Duty make as much money as possible, multi-platform, whatever else, multi-platform, and then
Yeah, because
these
it's
other
not
games
just
are
Call of
gonna
Duty.
be,
There's a shit ton. I mean, they got Blizzard too. It's
and then
StarCraft,
and then
Warcraft,
whatever,
Overwatch.
Overwatch, yeah, Overwatch going to be multi-platform, and then whatever else is going to be exclusive to their brand.
Yeah.
So console, PC, and at that point it's fuck PlayStation. The other stuff is going to be is going to be yours and everybody else, but this stuff is going to be ours. And it's the same thing I thought about with Bungie acquirement. Destiny is going to be everywhere.
Yeah,
but
you lose so much money.
But they're going to have they have a studio that can make shooters. So and this helps Sony to make their own games. At the end of the day, I still say that the console war died. Xbox lost the console war, but we all can now benefit now because there's gonna be multiple ways to play these games. PlayStation's advanced in the PC world. We're gonna be they're no longer gonna be console exclusive. Xbox, they're already in the PC world, but you can play it on Xbox, you can play it on PC, and now these studios that they acquired are allowing you to be multi-platform so they can make money too. So it's really at the end of the day, everybody's spreading their wealth and love while they make their own money as well. And I like it, to be quite honest. I think it's a great concept. So, but to get back to the original point, Gears is going to be announced this year. I fully believe it, and I'm going to throw a shot in the dark.
They're working on a new IP too. So is that taking the place of Gears right now? It seems odd to me. I figured we would have had Gears 6 already, to be honest with you. When was 5? 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
About 2-3 years ago, yeah. So
it was 19, wasn't it?
Was it 19?
Yeah, I don't think it was 2020. I think it was 19, wasn't it?
No, 2020 they didn't drop. I don't think they dropped anything in 2020. Right?
Yeah, I think 2019 was... Might have even been 2018, Gears. No, it wasn't 20. It was 2019, I was pretty sure. 2019.
Yeah, whatever the day was. But, yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, that's a while ago. So I figured we would have heard something about Gears 6, but supposedly Coalition's working on a new IP. But go ahead.
Yep. I think a new Gears is coming. I'm throwing a shot in the dark. We're going to get a remaster or a remake of Gears 2.
Ooh, I would like that. I know a lot of people don't love the ending of that game, but I really like Gears 2. I think Gears 2 is it's my favorite one of the whole series. Even though Gears 3 is better. Gears 3 is better than Gears 2, but Gears 2 is nostalgic memories for me. I think that'd be really cool. I think it'd be smart to capitalize on that, actually.
Yeah, I enjoyed Gears 3 the most, but Gears 2 was good. I like Gears 2. I went back and with Dalek, shout out to Dalek, 2 ago, and we played all the Gears. So, except for
you're still on 4. Yeah.
Huh? Well, yeah.
You got stuff.
Yeah, but we played the good ones, so.
JJ and I actually did a Gears of War-thon, and we did all 5, besides Judgment. I actually ended up playing Judgment with shout out to Neil, young Neil there. We played Gears Judgment, and definitely the worst one.
Yeah, I played Judgment too.
Not the greatest one, but it's fun. Like JJ and I meant to do a Halo-a-thon, we never got around to it. But we'll eventually still do that. The Halo-a-thon will still be a thing, I think. I know a lot of people really liked the Gears of War-thon. That was a fun time because he never played them before, and maybe he played one, but it was fun for us to go through memory lane again. And we beat each game in about 2 days usually, in a couple hour sessions. They weren't that long, but they were fun. They were fucking fun, man.
Yep. So that's I think next year would be the big year for them because I think they're going to have a lot of their Bethesda games come through.
Yeah.
So I think I do think a Bethesda game is coming for them exclusively. I just don't know. Um, Gosh, what was the name of that? What was the name of that game with the?
Starfield's going to be this year.
That's right. Yeah.
Starfield.
No, but no, no. Yes, that is going to be there. But there's another game that I'm thinking of that I just lost the name of it.
Ah, I
The
know what you're
Moon with
talking
the
about.
Face.
I know what you're talking about. It's the sequel to what's it called?
Yeah, the Moon with the Face. I'm forgetting.
Yeah, it's very Fallout. It's God, what's it called? I
God,
I
this.
played a little bit of it. Very
Yeah,
funny trailer they showed of that too, of the sequel.
yeah,
But I don't know. It's not coming to my head. I keep thinking Dishonored, but that's not what it is. Obviously, it's like Fallout New Vegas in space, and I played the first 30 minutes on a stream here, and it was cool. It was cool. I never get dove deep into it though. Um,
yeah. Dang it, man. Jeez.
but yeah, like is that making it this year? We only saw a teaser
No,
trailer for it for E3.
no, I think that's in beginning process. I think that they're just making that.
What
I
about?
do.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I do think that they will be working on a New Vegas since they have.
The rights. Yeah, they have both the studios now.
Yep. So I do think that's happening. They might even do a remake of the first one, a
Yeah.
remaster.
Yeah. Why not? Right?
Yeah.
Why not? Why not? Like they definitely could make a lot of money. I think all the Fallout games are already on backwards compatibility for New Vegas. Remakes are viable options though. Like I think those are smart to do. You know, a remake of Gears 2 is an excellent idea. You know, it's going to be probably like the 12th or 13th anniversary for that game, right?
Yeah.
Maybe 15th anniversary at this point because that was like 2008, 2007, maybe a long time
Yeah.
ago.
See, my thing was I asked this a while ago on the pod. What are you getting for the future of Xbox? And now we know. It's gonna be it's gonna be Bethesda games. It's gonna be whatever Activision are gonna do with Activision. Hopefully they just don't waste them
Yeah,
and just use them as a Call of Duty machine. And then they're gonna sprinkle in their Halo, their Gears, and their Forza every so often, every couple of years. So that's pretty much where
well, they
Xbox
strengthened
is
their
going.
number one selling point, and that is Game Pass by a
Yep.
large margin now. Now that not only are you going to get um, Bethesda stuff day one, you're getting Activision stuff day one. You're going to get COD day one
Yep.
free. Not necessarily free because you pay for Game Pass, but essentially that's a pretty damn good deal, right? And the numbers show like 25 million subs, right? Subscribers of Game Pass. That's probably going to grow a little bit now. Um, for sure. They definitely got a good game plan. It's just, what are the new IPs? Are the new IPs going to thrive? Are they going to eventually get into that territory? I would say yes, but are they going to hit any home runs? They're already showing they're trying to hit home runs, but definitely some lukewarm reception with some of the stuff like Starfield and was it Red Summer? I don't even remember what that game was called. From that Dishonored team, that vampire game. I don't even remember what it was called. It wasn't Red Dawn, I don't think, right? I don't even remember what it was called, to be honest. But I know we weren't like super impressed about it in the pod
Yep.
here. But I definitely think it is, like you mentioned, it's smart to lean into shooters, but you have an opportunity to really grow. And you need to take some chances. You got the money to. You got everything else taken care of. Let's start trying to hit some home runs. Let's start figuring out stuff, and that's what Sony's. We're definitely seeing two different viable strategies, like Sony acquiring studios that kind of have their philosophy in mind, like they did with the Returnal team, picking them up. giving them a shot. Now that's a thriving IP, that people want more of. Will be interesting to see what they do in the future, where Microsoft is just buying hunting IP, not necessarily looking to grow their own IP, just hunting IP.
This is the great thing about money, though, and we talked about this before, right? Money kept Xbox in the game, so now they're using that money, and these brands, these studios are going to keep them in the game until they can figure it out.
Also, this deal doesn't go through till next July, not even this, 2023 July. So it's going to be quite a bit before we see anything Activision exclusively for Xbox. It's going to take a long time. It's going to be a few years out, because I don't even know if they can necessarily plan stuff. Activision right now is acting independently still until the dots and the T's are crossed. They just wanted to make an announcement for January. This shit just didn't happen that day. It's going to happen in July. It's going to be a long fucking wait. And not this July. 2023 July. So a year and a half, almost. A year and 6 months. So it's going to be a while before these are... And I think it will go through. I don't think it will fall through, anything like that. I know a lot of people are worried about them hunting more. And I think both Sony and Microsoft are clearly going to acquire more studios. But I don't think we'll see another seismic one like that. Like, I don't think they'll go scoop up like EA, Take-Two, or something like that. I think this was a smart, calculated move, getting them on the low and the cheap. Sort of cheap, because they're worth more than I think $60 billion. Activision is, but because of the turmoil and the things that are kind of falling in with the company, I think Microsoft was smart to scoop it up. I think it was a smart move, but I am not in favor of that. I do not want Microsoft or Sony to buy everybody and their mama. I do want some studios to kind of stay independent and just do some contracts with each company, because that's how you get the business to really thrive and grow. I don't want necessarily Microsoft owning every single mega publisher out there, but it's smart to go get some when you can. So I think this was definitely a smart, calculated move. What about Perfect Dark? Are we gonna see that? Like, we saw that a while ago. We saw a teaser trailer a while effing ago. Another shooter game. A beloved IP in the N64. Not so much with Perfect Dark Zero on original Xbox. Or no, 360. Sorry, original on the 360. One of the very first games I got for my 360. Perfect Dark Zero. And I thought it was pretty cool back then, but definitely not the greatest story-wise, or not as good as probably that N64 game. I know that N64 game was beloved. It was like GoldenEye 2.0. But are we going to see that again? Is that coming back this year? Are we going to see more progress on that game? That's the interesting part, is what are we going to see? Hopefully some of these come back this year and we see them again. But what do you think? Is Perfect Dark making a reappearance this year?
Yeah, I think we'll see something probably E3.
Okay.
And I did figure out the game before it was Outer Worlds. But yeah,
you looked it up, you figured it out.
It drove me nuts.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. I looked through. But
good call, though. Good call. It's not Bethesda. It's a different studio, but they did Fallout New Vegas and everything. But now they own Bethesda in that studio, so they can do a New Vegas 2 easy. And a remake.
Yeah. So, I think we will see something probably E3, but it's kind of been, we haven't really heard much since its reveal, huh?
A lot of stuff we haven't heard much from. Like, we know there's a new, possibly Gears in the works. We haven't heard about Perfect Dark. There was another game that wasn't, like Hellblade, we just re-saw, but not much of, right?
Yeah.
I mean, shit, they announced Hellblade. and they literally had nothing to show when it was announced. Like, literally, they didn't even start the fucking game. And that's the scary part. That's the shit I want to know, because you got to give everything time to bake in the oven, but there is a thing about jumping the gun sometime. And Sony's done a really good job managing their IPs right now. This year is going to be fucking insane for them. Right? Again, the second year of PS5 is going to be huge. Even better than the first year. That was really fucking good. You know? And we're going to talk about that in a second. But I want, that's what I want to see from Microsoft. Make a Banjo-Kazooie remake. Do a Conquer remake. Shit, just bring everything back. Take some chances. Make some new IP. But I want to see some of these things unfold. I don't want to see teaser trailer for 3.5 minutes of nothing. I do want to see some gameplay for some of these games, and I hope some of these reappear. I do hope we see some Perfect Dark. Like, what is it going to be? This was supposed to be your quadruple A studio, and you're making them do Perfect Dark instead of a new IP? That's the interesting part, and I want to see what they do. What's going to be new? What's going to be fresh about these ideas? Because that studio has a lot of effing talent in it. I mean, members from Uncharted, Red Dead, God of War, like so many creative people from other games are going to be working on that Perfect Dark game. So I'm interested to see what's it about. Like, what are we going to have for Microsoft? But definitely interesting though. Like, I'm like, what are going to be some of the other surprises this year from them? And I'm trying to think. I think Lou did a great job with the Gears stuff. That's a big possibility. Gears 6, Gears 2 remake would be freaking awesome. Be excellent. I'm assuming more content for Halo, right? Got to keep that train going.
Won't they do another Halo Wars?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't think Halo Wars 2 did that well, so I don't know if they'll do another one. Obviously, we're getting a new Forza, right? We'll probably get Forza 9, right? Forza Motorsports 9, I think we'll probably get that. What about Fable? We saw a teaser trailer for Fable. Are we going to see Fable fully unveiled this year?
Well, there was something that you told me when Fable was unveiled. Like, they just unveiled the name, but they have like no concept, no idea, right? Isn't that something that you told me, or did I read that in an article?
Maybe the one you're probably right. The one thing I did say was that new game from Rare, Everwild.
Yeah,
a lot of the directors and creative people left that game, so that game's kind of in limbo now. They don't know they don't even have an actual concept for Everwild.
There was something that came out about Forza, and we talked about it. Like, it was revealed, and then there was something that came out that would make you think that it's not even close of coming.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what it was, but even so, I don't even think that we'll see that this year. If earliest we probably see it is probably next year.
Forza or Fable?
Fable.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
but
yeah, I mean, this is the thing. We had so many teaser trailers from them last year. Are we going to see some proof of concept this year? I want to see some stuff. I'm sure they might do. What's that boat game? What's that pirate game?
Sea of Thieves?
Sea of Thieves. Maybe new content for that. They had the Pirates of the Caribbean content, right? Last summer. So maybe more Sea of Thieves content. I know a lot of people. It supposedly has a big community and people are playing it.
It's pretty interesting to me because you brought up a good point. How PlayStation has their ducks in a row and Xbox just seems to be everywhere.
Yeah, it's very aloof. There's no concept of anything.
Right? Yeah,
that's
you know what you're getting from PlayStation and Sony. Like, after God of War, we're getting Spider-Man.
Yeah.
After Spider-Man, we're getting Ghost of Tsushima.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, we know what's coming.
And plus all the fun surprises we're about to hear from them, too.
Yeah.
Obviously, Microsoft's going to have some, too. But, Sony clearly strengthened their first-party IP these last 10 years. And it's even getting stronger. They went out hard with Square and was like, hey, give us Forspoken and give us Final Fantasy 16. And then there's even another rumor that they're going to do another Square Enix game with them that's exclusive. So it's like, shit. Like, they're strong. Like, their year is going to be, let's end Microsoft. Are we done with Microsoft? You got anything else you want to add?
No, I don't have anything else.
Let's get to the final of the big three, and then we'll wrap it up with some of the smaller ones. But Sony had a big fucking day today too. I don't know when this is finalized. By the way, I don't think the T's and I's are dotted and crossed already. Because
what I've read is that the acquisition was actually brought to all the employees' attention about 10 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
So nobody even knew that this was even a thing.
It's
like,
not,
they made an announcement and they said that it is happening.
It's not one of the ones we thought of. We talked about Sony acquiring plenty of studios. Remedy, I thought they would go after. Kojima, I thought they would go after. They're going hard for the Konami IPs, right?
Yeah.
But Bungie, waking up today, and Bungie, shout out to Angry Steve, he was calling me, he's like, did you hear the fucking news? And I'm like, yeah, I did. Like, yeah. Like, Bungie, I was not, because I think Bungie was, when they left Activision, they got bought by Tencent, right?
Yep.
And now Sony bought them from Tencent? Like, that's interesting. That's such an interesting move. For $3.6 billion. We don't know when it's finalized. Sony picked up Returnal Studio. I don't know why it's escaping my mind right now. I really like Housemarque, yep. Housemarque. They picked them up. They picked up Blue Point. They've had a pretty productive year last year. They're going to continue bringing in more talent for them. They did they signed Jade Raymond's studio to a game, and they signed the Call of Duty guys to a game that made Demolition Studios. A lot of the founders of Call of Duty, so they're making a multiplayer game. Sony's going to have a lot of multiplayer stuff going in. They already said they're going to keep Destiny, obviously multi-platform. You lose a shit ton of money if you don't. Keep that multi-platform. But if you want that specific gun in Destiny, that exotic, you're going to have to play a year of Sony. Because that shit's probably going to keep going through for a while. Especially since they're owned by Sony now. But they're also working on a new IP. I think they already said that's exclusive to Sony already. So, sounds like they had a lot of talks for a long time, for a while now. So, I don't know what concept or what production they're in. If you guys don't know, Bungie is the creators of Halo. I think they're the biggest reason why Halo's not good anymore is because they left and went to go do Destiny. But I heard Halo Infinite is pretty good. I want to play it and give it a try. I do want to get a Series X eventually. I don't know if this will be the year I get one, but I do definitely want to get one down the line. But it is big time Sony getting Bungie. It's a huge deal. But what do you think of the move, Lou, personally?
Man, I think it's a great move. I know a lot of people they feel a certain way about Bungie from the past.
Yeah.
But I think that under PlayStation now, I think it's kind of like a new, fresh face. I expect big things, to be quite honest. I think this is a huge acquisition for PlayStation.
One I did not think of, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a huge acquisition to go out there and purchase a shooting studio. Yeah. I think, like, talking about PlayStation, they're going to have a really big year in terms of gaming. But we didn't mention what other big part of PlayStation that we're about to experience. PlayStation's going to the PC world.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation Now is getting an uplift facelift. I assume that's going to be you're going to be able to play a whole bunch of games through PlayStation Now, their games on PlayStation and PC. I think that it's going to be their type of Game Pass.
Yeah.
I think they're going to put PlayStation Plus with it, maybe Funimation and maybe Crunchyroll with it. I think in terms of just not just gaming, but their expansion, I think it's going to be really big going forward for PlayStation.
Yeah.
Expanding the PC world. I don't think this is the last studio they buy. I do think that they are going to get a big one. I still am going with Square. I do think that they will get Remedy sooner or later.
Yeah.
But
I don't think they buy any of the big Japanese studios. I think they just keep those contracts going.
I think the relationship between Square and PlayStation, I think it's only a matter of time. To be quite honest,
progressed quite nicely, yeah. Especially if that new third game is rumored to be true. Exclusive wise.
I think it's a no-brainer. I think it's a no-brainer that Square, unless something, I don't want to say that Square joins PlayStation, but maybe they're partnered with PlayStation, so they can make it exclusive games and then still make third-party games.
Well, technically, you can say that now. Like that's what they're doing now, essentially. That's why I don't think so, because they're making a lot of money off the Switch, and then they get extra cash from Microsoft when they put that stuff on Game Pass.
But if they can work it where, how do I put this well, where PlayStation kind of owns them, but
keep them third party, multi-platform.
Allowed to have the freedom that they can have. So I really think that would really work for both sides.
That would be fucking huge if they acquired. I think Remedy and I think Kojima still. I think those are the two that are still on the table. I'm shocked the Remedy thing hasn't happened, to be honest with you. I'm really shocked. I don't know if they dipped their hands in Warner Brothers. That situation seems pretty messy for anybody.
Remedy seems tough, and I still say that they do get Remedy, but the more and more I hear from them is that they don't want to be under a tree. And I always mention that. They just want to be able to do whatever they want.
Yeah, who said that also, though? Insomniac.
That's why I still say that they will get him, because I don't believe that bullshit. But you never know.
If the money's right and you feel like you could twist the knife a little bit, you'll do it.
Yeah.
And Sony's always had a great relationship with Insomniac. They only did that one game on Xbox, and that was it. Sunset Overdrive, and then they basically went back to PlayStation, and then they just got scooped up. Also, that was last year too, I think, right? So Sony and Microsoft have been really busy with the pocketbooks, and I don't think that's going to change. Square would be huge. I think they're still, I think they're going to just kind of stay partnered. I do think Kojima and Remedy eventually would be on the table. It's a big move. Getting the Bungie, Halo, Destiny. This would be even bigger if this was like 2003. Oh my God, Halo got bought by Sony. It'd be very interesting. But obviously times are different now. Gaming's constantly evolving. Destiny's a huge money maker. New DLC's coming out next month.
I assume we'll get a Destiny 3 soon.
Destiny 3 sometime down the road, I'm assuming for sure. That's in the plan.
It's about that time.
Yeah, it seems like it. It definitely seems like it. Sony gonna have another fantastic effing year. God of War, Horizon, Gran Turismo 7, and Forspoken. Huge. Even if Forspoken flops, you still got 3 really strong perennial contenders, and we don't even know what else the other surprise is going to be. I don't think 16 is going to make it. I hope we see more Project Eve that we saw from their PlayStation Showcase a couple months ago. That was a really cool game. Looked
Yeah.
like Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, God of War-esque with sexy waifus. That looked really good. It looked really good game. Very
We're in for
visually
a really.
impressive. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we're in for a really great game, great year. Excuse me, of gaming.
Another
Like a
one,
really
another
great year.
fantastic
Yep.
year from Sony. And last year, Ratchet, Returnal, and
Not just Sony. Like shout out to Nintendo for Pokemon. Like how they're starting off the year.
yeah,
I mean,
Ratchet, Returnal, Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima director's cuts, Deathloop. They had a monster year last year. Sony they're gonna even have a bigger year. Like, this is two of your biggest IP, three of your biggest IPs. And Gran Turismo, you could argue, is their biggest IP. That game sells a kajillion. That game makes a kajillion dollars for them. I don't know if necessarily this one will. I'm assuming, yeah, it will.
I mean, they're gonna have Gran Turismo, then they're gonna have Forspoken.
Yep.
Um,
And that's just the first half of the year. We don't even know. Well, God of War probably will be the November game. Probably lock that in. Unless it's like September, October. But I'm gonna lock in God of War November. I think that's the big November game for Sony.
I wonder if 16 will come out in September.
No, it already got delayed.
Yeah, but then they say it was the winter of 2022, or is that spring of 2023 that they're doing it?
No, it got delayed. It just it happened a few weeks ago. It got delayed. They're gonna.
Yeah, I know that it got delayed, but I figured that it got delayed for later on in 2022. I don't remember what date.
No. Because Forspoken's coming out this year, so that's the Square game that's coming, and Stranger in Paradise, but that's coming out everywhere.
Yeah,
but those are like the two big ones. No, they got delayed out of this year. They already said it's out of 2022.
Okay.
We're gonna get new info on it in a couple months here. I think they said either February or March. They're gonna have some new content to show. They're gonna have like a big reveal of the game because we haven't seen much of 16, and people were wondering because when it was unveiled like 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, like, oh, we're gonna get that in 2022. They unveiled the new Final Fantasy first year of PS5, and they're like, nah, like they just they put that idea to bed because it just makes sense. Let Stranger in Paradise and Forspoken make some money, and then focus hard on that game and get it done for next year. Have it a spring game. But they ran into something. They said COVID problems and stuff like that, which is the big excuse now. But this is what I do like about studios having the balls to push games back, because get it done right, man. Don't come out with some jank. Don't have a Battlefield. Don't have the sports games coming out broken like they always do every year. Like, have some, and that's Sony's quality, right? They always have fantastic quality games day one, besides Days Gone, where they tried to remedy that situation, but that game is so fantastic now, but when it came out, it didn't have that Sony quality. So
yeah,
it's gonna be. We know a Twisted Metal is coming down the line. Is that unveiled this year? Right?
Well, they're gonna have a TV show.
Yep.
Twisted Metal. Was it on Netflix?
I don't. I think it was. I don't think it was Netflix. I forgot. I think it's like Paramount or something.
Oh,
it might be HBO Max, actually. I don't know. I forgot where it was going to be.
Oh, boy.
Uncharted movies coming out a couple weeks. And then they also have, what's it called? Last of Us. Last of Us TV show. That's on HBO Max for sure.
I am reading the statement, and they said they're going to show more in the spring of 2022.
Yep.
But don't expect not from their statement, but the dude from
The director.
PlayStation CEO said
Oh.
don't expect the game to come out anytime in 2022.
Yeah. No chance.
So yeah, so that is not. I thought that would be the September release, but I guess that's gonna be the 2023 release sometime.
Yeah.
Probably 2023 of September.
Just
So-
kind of, you just keep the train rolling. Like, you got God of War and Horizon. You can just live with those two. But you also got Gran Turismo and Forspoken, plus everything else, all the other surprises that are going to make it this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they said. I know they said that what was the Last of Us remake was supposed to make it this year.
That was
This is
rumored,
gonna-
that Last of Us remake and possibly Last of Us Factions was going to be dropped.
Yeah, I think this is supposed to be a big year. If not a big year for games for Naughty Dog, but a big year for news
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah.
Because I heard that they were very eager to talk about their new multiplayer game and some other surprises that they have.
Yeah.
So
Are we gonna see more Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine? Are we gonna see any more trailers for them this year? I'm assuming, yeah. Or are we're gonna have to wait a little while more for Wolverine? What do you think?
let's see. I mean, Wolverine. They said 2023, right, for that game.
No,
So maybe-
Spider-Man. Spider-Man is 2023.
So Wolverine is 2024 then.
I think they said earliest
Oh,
2025 they were shooting for. I think.
Okay, because there was a expected release date on that game. I just don't remember when. But yeah, maybe not. Maybe we won't see Wolverine. Probably see Spider-Man
Spider-Man
probably-
for sure because
gameplay. Which I heard today that they're gonna do a Gran Turismo thing, live event, PlayStation,
yeah.
in a couple of days. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be pretty interesting because I am pre-ordering that game. So
Yeah, I already got it pre-ordered. Obviously, Sony's gonna have a monster year. All those titles we just named are gonna be excellent. What are gonna be some of the surprises though? Are we gonna see the Sly Coopers, the Infamouses, new IPs that are announced out of nowhere? Like what do you expect? What else do you want from Sony?
I want Sly. I want Infamous. I would actually want them to remaster or remake the first two.
Yeah,
To be quite honest.
Infamous, right?
Yeah, Infamous. Yes. I want to know what this new Uncharted game is.
It's just
that's
been rumored. They said they
rumored.
were open to do another one. I know they're doing like 4 games right now. The Factions, the remake of Last of Us, new IP, and then something else that we don't.
That's something else has to be Uncharted. I think You don't think Naughty Dog would pick that up? I mean, it seems like it's been thrown around all over the place.
Well,
I
Last
mean,
of Us remake started out as Uncharted remake, Uncharted 1 remake,
yeah.
and then they got switched and pulled. I don't know. It seems for a moment there, it seemed like they were all over the place, which we knew wasn't necessarily true because we knew Factions was coming.
Yeah.
We knew that they were working on a new IP, obviously, but
So-
obviously probably nowhere near completion.
So this new Uncharted game was thrown around all over the place, right?
Just recently, yeah.
Yeah, recently. I mean, it started off with the people that made Days Gone.
The actual product actually started out with supposedly that mysterious studio in Sony, San Diego, the MLB
Yeah.
The Show team. Supposedly,
And
then it got to Ben, and then Ben wanted off of it. Then it got turned into remake when it went back to Naughty Dog.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Naughty Dog said, "We'll just make the new IP of Uncharted."
Yeah,
At this point,
Or,
I
yeah.
wouldn't be surprised. So, because it seems like these studios, I guess not. They don't have time for it. Ben is working on a game, right?
new open
Uh,
world game. Yes.
Yeah, new open
IP.
world game,
New
a new
IP.
IP, which might be revealed later this year. Um,
I'm
I mean,
interested. Yeah, that's a good point. Are we gonna see the unveiling of Ben's game?
and yeah, I mean, we should be able to see a lot of what's coming in the future for PlayStation.
Yeah, it's what is that demolition team? I think it's demolition. The guys they signed from Call of Duty, is that going to be a SOCOM game?
Oh
What
God, that would be nice.
they're going in, Sony's going in a big time multiplayer direction with a lot of studio games. Supposedly Insomniac might be working on a multiplayer game as well. Are we going to see Sunset Overdrive come back? Is that the multiplayer game they're talking about?
You know, for a long time, I thought that was gonna be ported over to the PS4, and we talked about that a
They
lot.
said they want to do it. So, are they gonna do it though? Like, what else nostalgic wise coming back? Are they gonna do a PlayStation All Stars 2? Twisted Metal's coming back. We know for sure. Not only a TV show is coming, but we know there's a Twisted Metal game in the works. We just don't know what studio it is because it's been moved around a little bit. Supposedly it was the Destruction All Stars team, and they got taken off it, and somebody else from Europe got it now. So we know it's real. I hope it's like not a TV show game. I hope it's not tied to the TV show. I just hope it's its own thing. It seems like it's gonna have some of the, I hate to say it, like the Fortnite qualities to it, but we'll see what they do. Sony's gonna step in multiplayer. You said they're stepping in PC. They have a different tactic with PC though. They're making a lot of extra money with PC because they're releasing their games 3 or 4 years after. You know, Uncharted 4 is going to be the next one, right? That was leaked.
Yeah.
Oh no, they did announce it, right? Did they announce it?
What? Uncharted
4 is going to be on PC, right?
Yeah, I think so. I
Yeah.
believe so. They're starting to port all those games over to PC.
Yeah.
But the first thing that that I thought about with the Bungie acquisition,
Because they're not putting those games day one. Like, you're not going to be able to get God of War Ragnarok day one on PC. You're going to have to own a PS5 or PS4 for that.
but one of the first things that I particularly thought about with the Bungie acquisition is I think we're going to get Killzone back. Any one way, shape, or form, or maybe a resistance game.
That was also rumored, the Resistance Chimera collection of 1 and 2 remade.
I know Guerrilla made those games if I remember correctly.
They made Killzone. Resistance was Infamous.
Okay, but why not?
Not Infamous. I'm sorry. Insomniac. Insomniac did Resistance actually.
Yeah, I knew what you meant, but I was just gonna go with my train of thought there. It's why not? Why not let Bungie do it? Why not let Bungie do it with another studio? I think that would really work for them. Give them a chance to do a PlayStation game, and I know a lot of people are gonna sit there and be like, you know how they feel about Bungie and shooters and shit like that. But I think if you give PlayStation,
I'm actually more interested to see them do the new. I'm glad they said they're doing a new IP already. I'm more interested in them doing a new IP because you know why? Is because Guerrilla has already proven they can do Killzone. They've done it phenomenally already, and also they have another game that is a shooter. So is that Killzone that Guerrilla's working on, or is it new? Is that SOCOM? Or is that?
But have Bungie collab? Because here's the thing: is that with Bungie, they're good for a reason.
Yeah,
and I think PlayStation can make them. I think PlayStation can make them better. The things that people feel are bad about Bungie, PlayStation can easily correct.
Yeah,
I 100% believe that. So why not give them Killzone with the supervision of PlayStation looking over the shoulder, be like, okay, well, we could tweak this. Did a good job.
The reason being is because they're so talented. I want to see a new IP, and that's what Sony does.
You can still,
Do new
you can
IP.
still give them a new IP. Why not?
Yeah,
That's not going to take away from them. Look at Naughty Dog. They're working on like 4 or 5 projects.
Yeah. Yeah, but with the caliber of Bungie, I wouldn't want them doing someone else's IP. I want them to do their own stuff, do new stuff. Personally, that's how I would do it.
Yeah, let them do their stuff and let them do some of the stuff that for PlayStation.
But
Why not?
you make a great point. I mean, they could help those studios out, but I think
People are shooters.
Insomniac did a fantastic job with Resistance, and I also feel like Guerrilla did an excellent job with shooting game, and they're already working on another shooting game anyway. So we just don't know what it is. It's it's either a new IP, SOCOM, or Killzone again. And is that going to get unveiled? Like, what are all the secret projects? Are we going to see the secret project from Sony Santa Monica, that space game they're working on? Is that going to happen? You know, like, there's so many great potential. It's going to be an exciting year. Just what do you want? What do you expect from it, though? Like, what else do we expect to see from Sony besides, you know, the excellent year they're going to have already? It seems like all 3 of the big 3 are going to have an excellent year of gaming. They're going to be making a lot of money. Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony. They're going to be making a chunk of money.
Yep. It's going to be a great year gaming, man. It really is.
It's going to be fantastic. And it's going to start off pretty soon. A couple weeks for Sony. Let's end Sony and let's go into some of the other studios. I want to talk about Ubisoft really quick because I've been finding the most hilarious freaking glitches in Valhalla, like where I hit a wolf right in the head and I flew up 300 freaking meters in the air and died, which was hilarious to see. I never knew Vikings could fly. I guess he wanted to be Thor. Eivor wanted to be Thor for a second. But Ubisoft's in a peculiar position because they're having a lot of off-the-field issues too. And potentially Far Cry and Assassin's Creed are going into a games-of-service type games. And Prince of Persia, the remake, got delayed like indefinitely, right? We don't know when that's coming out. That game should be out already. What is Beyond Good and Evil 2 seems to be in development hell. It's probably kaput now. I don't know if we'll ever see that game ever again.
And that's sad because like we talked about earlier, a lot of people cried during that unveiling of that game.
Yeah.
That's
so. Extraction, we'll see if it lives on this year. Right?
Yeah.
It just came out. We don't know. It seems like the reception's a little lukewarm. At least from my friends, like the GG and friends here on this particular channel. It seems like you guys weren't high on it or anything like that. But I didn't really personally watch any gameplay of it or anything. So I don't know. I thought it looked pretty cool and was interesting. But I didn't watch a lot. Like I just from the trailer, I thought the concept was cool with aliens or mutants or whatever it was, but obviously they want to keep Siege going for a long time, but they're in a weird, unique position. So what is obviously we're gonna get a new Just Dance game, but what is Ubisoft gonna do? What's next? Mario and Rabbids is coming out this year. It's such an interesting concept. Is the rumored Assassin's Creed Infinity, which is the game of service title, is that this year? Like, what do you think for Ubisoft, Lou?
What's my nickname for Ubisoft?
I forgot what you said.
It's called Ubisoft.
Yeah.
EWWWBISOFT. Ubisoft. And the
think
reason
you
I
spelled
say
that
this
wrong,
in
but-
particular is they have good ideas. They managed to fuck it up.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
so, I mean, I pre-ordered the Watch Dogs game. I think it was a year ago.
Legion, yeah.
I don't know what that game is. I still don't know what that is. Watch Dogs was supposed to tie into Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
I guess they went away with that. Assassin's Creed games have gotten better, but they are so buggy. Even just watching you just play without that video, there's a lot of. I mean, it's very stiff gameplay. AI movement is. I mean, everything about it is stiff. I mean, you can walk up to an enemy and they just don't even recognize that you're even there.
Yeah.
Just, and it probably has a decent story, but they have to have their little views in with Far Cry and Assassin's Creed, which, makes it a little eye-rolling, but I still say that Ubisoft kind of needs to rebrand. They're going to come out with this Life of Service Assassin's Creed game. And what was the other Life of Service game that they're doing? Is it Far Cry?
Yeah, supposedly Far Cry and Assassin's Creed, that's going to be the new direction for both those games. And the leak was Assassin's Creed Infinity.
With NFTs, right? That's what they're doing it with?
I don't know exactly. I don't know. This was just floating around.
Yeah. So I'm not big on monopolies. They need to be bought and rebranded. But it's just to me when I see them, it's just a mess. Like a lot of it's a mess. The Tom Clancy game, the new Extraction game. I mean, they're selling the game for $40. You pre-order it, and nobody's even buying the game. The game just doesn't look right. I don't know what the heck that crap is. You're shooting off the wall for some reason. That growth, alien growth, or whatever is part of the story. I have no idea what that is. I don't know why that's even a thing. I don't know who came up with that idea.
It's because they don't want to restart Siege over. They want to keep Siege going.
And that's fine though. But Siege is a multiplayer game that is known for its multiplayer, and I think they have their own esport, right? Siege.
Yeah.
So,
but you keep that going, and you keep that team doing something else, and
Division is
I don't
probably going
think
to be
Extraction
like
was meant
game.
to replace. It's just a newer, different type of game mode. I think that's what it's supposed to be. Anyway, also like you were about to bring up Division 2. Like, is Division 2 done? I haven't heard much from that game in a while.
That's probably done, but the next Division game is probably a Life of Service game.
What about Tom Clancy's? What's that one that became open world? What was it?
Do you think? I was going to. Do you think Splinter Cell? Or do you think we're going to get that? Because that's been rumored for a remake for a long time.
Yeah, is Splinter Cell coming? I would like to see it. I would like to see that Prince of Persia game come out. Like, like that remake seemed like it was pretty far along and pretty done. So I don't know why it got delayed. I don't know what's going on. Seems like they're kind of all over the place. Obviously, I think they're going to be fine. They're going to be making a lot of money from Just Dance and whatever they decide to sell. I bet Extraction probably still did pretty. It'll be interesting to see the numbers for Extraction, but I bet it did pretty good for them financially.
It's really weird to me because there's a lot of studios out there that I'm just thinking about right now. And again, I'm not a big fan of monopolies, but I felt like what Microsoft did was right because they can't produce their own shit. So but there are some studios out there that need help in another direction. Ubisoft is one of them. So there was another one that came to my mind that we'll probably talk about in a little while. But yeah, Ubisoft is really one of them. Assassin's Creed's have been good. Far Cry is just Just Dance is just going to come out every year. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Nothing.
Actually, I
Nothing
actually really like
stellar.
Far Cry. I think that's probably one of their better releases. It's just the one you happened to play was that one, but I don't think it was bad overall.
Wait, which one?
Far Cry.
Far Cry.
Yeah.
Far Cry was okay, and I'll go back and play the others.
Yeah.
But Watch Dogs, man, you gotta do better than that shit.
That's interesting one because I saw you play it day one and that was it. You didn't play it again, ever again.
Because like you go around the open world and it's like what is going on here? It's like I just didn't, it just got weird to me.
Yeah.
But
I always liked Watch Dogs, but I was never in love with Watch Dogs. Like Ubisoft, they're one of the biggest companies in the gaming universe, but it's really interesting to see them constantly produce these games every year, and it I don't know, it's interesting to see that it's kind of, I don't know, is it getting stale for some people? Clearly not. They're making a lot of money still, but what is really going on? Are these being rushed too fast? Like, it's going to be interesting to see where they're going forward. I'm interested to see what surprises they have this year. They're supposed to have another. I'm assuming they'll have another one of their Ubisoft. They had Riders Republic come out last year as well. So they've been very busy. That roller skating game that looked really fun to play. I think it was like Rollerball. That never came out. Like, so I'm interested to see, is that gonna come? Like, I just wanted to bring them up because I've been playing their games a lot. I've been playing their games a lot lately.
Before we move on, I think didn't they announce that the Splinter Cell was going to get remade, like on Twitter or some shit?
I don't know.
Did they come out with something?
I don't know. That's a good point. I don't really remember, but I do. I want to go on a limb and say Splinter Cell does come back. I think Sam Fisher does come back. I don't know if it's a remake though. I'm gonna lean towards remake. I don't think it's a new one. I think it is Splinter Cell 1 remake.
I remember seeing a statement. I just don't remember.
Actually, reboot. They start from scratch again. They just reboot the series. Yeah.
Next one.
What other companies are coming to your head? What's one of your favorite ones you're thinking about, and where you think they're going this year?
One of my I can't really say this without laughing. Rockstar and 2K.
Yeah.
I think they're going in a very laughable direction. To be quite honest,
agree with you. But what's going to be some of the surprises this year for them, though? What are you thinking, Nate? What do you want? Is Mafia coming back? Are we going to have? Are we ever going to ever see Grand Theft Auto 6? Like BioShock, that BioShock game we've known fucking forever, man. Are we going to finally see it this year?
Well, they said that's in development hell, right?
That was the rumor, yeah, right? I read to you a few weeks ago that it was in hell.
It was in development hell.
Yeah.
I think, what is it, Tiny Tina's coming for 2K.
Yep.
I'm just going to package them all, 2K, and
put them together,
yeah. God. I don't want to be that guy, but the WWE game looks fucking laughable to me.
I think JJ's pre-ordering it too, to be honest. To me, it looked a lot better than the one that came out very broken, which was 2020, I think.
It's just like, yeah, I mean, it looks better. I don't know if it's going to play better. I hope it does.
It looks, that's a good point.
Otherwise, Vince is going to lose his shit.
That's a good point. It's a valid point right there.
But it doesn't even look as good. Like, when you watch them make the 2K games, right? And the faces and the sweat that they just keep showing over and over again, it looks really fucking good. Then they look at people like Sasha and Charlotte and Brock, and it's like, damn, like, did y'all even really try with these guys, with these people? Like, some of their movements, like, they're throwing people around, they show gameplay, and their face, they don't even make a facial expression. And the last time the characters didn't make a facial expression was like 2006.
The last wrestling game I played was WWE 2K14, and it was just pretty dry and bare bones. I felt like you would do a finisher move and the crowd wouldn't react.
That was the end of the good wrestling games.
Players don't react. I think the last good one actually was 2K. Not 2K, it was SmackDown versus Raw 11 was probably the last good one.
Yeah, 11 was good.
Because 2K12 was the first one, wasn't it?
No, they rebranded it to like WWE 12 with THQ, I think.
Okay.
If I remember correctly. And then I think the one with Punk on the cover was it. And then 2K got it.
Okay.
But I don't remember exactly, but they stopped doing SmackDown versus Raw because they started to do one show.
Yeah. Yep.
So they started to do the Super Show bullshit. But yeah, I mean, as far as the rest of the year, I don't know what we get for GTA 6. There's reports now that it might be coming out sooner than we expected. I know we're getting GTA 5 again, the remaster.
That's true. We're getting that, yeah.
We're going to get that again. I hope y'all are ready for
I think Tiny Tina makes a lot of money for them, too. That game looks fun. It looks really good.
That cow got to be skinny as hell right now. They've been taking so much milk from that cow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, yeah, I mean, GTA is going to be a moneymaker until the end of time, man. Like, Grand Theft Auto 5, I don't think they ever thought they would make this much money off it. And you keep doing it. If you can keep making new content, like the Dr. Dre stuff, if you can keep making new content for the online stuff with story,
you're
making money, keep doing it. Why not? But I do want to see 6 eventually. Are we going to get that Red Dead remake? Is Bully 2 completely dead? Is LA Noire completely dead? LA Noire 2, there was rumors that was coming back for a while. They own like 14 studios or some shit. I think we just read it the other day.
Yeah, they did say that they were going to have all those games come out by 2025.
Yeah, they have like 90 games slated for like 2025 or something?
Yeah, until 2020. It was like at that point till 2025.
Yeah.
And we got the 3 GTA games. So that's 3 of them right there. The whatever they were, remastered.
Yeah,
that just kind of was a boner deflator.
It was, man. I was so excited, and I probably put like 6-7 hours in Vice City, but man, that game just didn't run well. I heard it's a lot better now, supposedly, but I think it killed a lot. It killed my vibe. I haven't gone back since all the new updates.
Yeah. I
want to see BioShock. I want to see some of these things, man. And I'm hoping.
I'm worried about BioShock because if there is a problem with it, if that game's in development, I don't want to see that game.
Yeah.
2K does a good job of not showing, and Rockstar showing games until they're almost ready to be released. Don't give me a game that might have a lot of problems with it.
Yeah.
Don't just rush it out there just because you figure you need to put content out there. Just don't do that.
Oh, the trilogy?
Like the trilogy, like they did with Mafia 3. Like all these games come out.
Well, your favorite series, is that coming back?
Yeah, I would assume so.
Are we getting Mafia 4 announced this year? Like, what do you expect?
I don't know if we're gonna get a Mafia 4 announcement this year. I do, but I would like a 2 remake. I know they just did the remaster, but fuck it, just give me remakes, remasters, and shit. Like I'll take it.
Of 1
you know
excellent.
What I mean?
It is excellent.
So I'll take that. Give me a remake of 2 and Give me a new one. A new one would be fine. I don't know if it's coming out this year, but damn, if it did come out this year, I go nuts for it. I'd definitely buy it right then and there. But yeah, I don't know. I don't expect a lot from 2K Rockstar. Now, I was excited. I was on the train, but they just kind of killed my mood a little bit. So it's gonna have to be a while before I can bring that mood back up.
All right, well, let's pick it up then. Since you're such a sad little Jeffrey, let's pick it up a little bit. Let's go to Capcom, baby. You know, let's have some fun with Capcom. I think we're gonna get obviously the Resident Evil 8 DLC. I think we'll get that announced pretty soon. And then when they announce it, I think we'll get it like maybe a month later. I do think we get the the RE4 remake trailer. I think it drops this year. Not the game, the trailer. I think we're gonna see RE4 remake happen. Dragon's Dogma 2 was leaked forever ago. I think that will eventually get announced this year. I think it will be a pretty damn big year for Capcom, at least game announcement wise. I don't know if we see Street Fighter 6. Don't know if we see any new Mega Mans or anything like that. Maybe we do. Maybe it might be time for a new Mega Man. But I think it's going to be a pretty good year, at least on the horror survival horror front with Resident Evil. I think we see Resident Evil 8 DLC. I think it'll probably be a little bit bigger than what people expect, and then we're going to see RE4 remake. We're going to see the trailer for it, and it's going to look fucking awesome. But I'm going to say 2023 it comes out. I don't think it comes out this year. Don't think this will happen, but I'm going to go out on a limb. Devil May Cry 6 gets announced.
Do you think we see a new Monster Hunter? For
Monster Hunter World 2, I think, is going to happen. But my gut is telling me maybe next year. Third year PS5. That'll be the title game for the PS5 third year. Monster Hunter World 2. Boom. I think so. Because Monster Hunter Rise just came out on PC. And then they did Monster Hunter Stories 2. For the Switchy and PC, sorry. So that was supposed to be a Switch exclusive game, went to PC. I don't know if it's coming to PlayStation Rise. I think the exclusive on the PlayStation is World 2, and I think it will happen. But I think it's going to take time, because I think they're going to go bigger and badder with it with the power of the SSD and the PS5. But they got too much on their other plate right now that they need to get out. They need to get these Resident Evil games out. Possibly Devil May Cry 2. Not 2, sorry, Devil May Cry 6. And then even Dragon's Dogma 2. That's supposedly supposed to be around, right? So,
do you think they'll ever remake Code Veronica? Oh my god, I can't say it right.
I know.
You
I wish they would. I do think these two remakes will happen. I think Code Veronica remake is a possibility, and Dino Crisis. I've been saying it for a few years now. They said they want to do it. I think Dino Crisis remake will be a reality, but no announcement this year. I'd be shocked, anyway, if it was announced this year. I think those dreams will come true. Do not give up hope. They're making a shit ton of money off these Resident Evil remakes, and they're going to continue to do it, folks. And they're taking it very seriously. 4 remake probably would have been out already.
Yeah.
If Resident Evil 3 remake didn't have the reception it had. It wasn't an awful reception, but compared to 2 was favorite for Game of the Year for most people. Where Resident Evil 3, I think, only got nominated for one category. And people... 2 and 3 are my favorite Resident Evil all times, the OGs. But 2 remake, fucking fantastic. I liked 3 remake a lot, but it could have been better. And they know that. And that's why they're taking RE4 remake really serious. Because people believe that's the best Resident Evil game ever, is Resident Evil 4, because it changed the series forever. But yes, I do think Code Veronica has a big possibility. I want them to really do it. they should do it. They should have did it before 4, personally. People really, that game really needs it. Where 4, I feel like doesn't really need it that much, but when that game comes out, it's going to sell so much money, RE4. It's going to, a lot of people think it's the GOAT of survival horror games, so I would say 2 remake is fantastic. And play 3 remake for shits and giggles, because that's really fun. But Dino Crisis remake, I think it's going to happen. Not this year, though. Probably next year. But Capcom, they're going to keep... They've had... Every year they've been having fantastic years. I think they're just going to keep that train rolling. It was such a big JRPG year last year, right?
Yeah.
One of the biggest, but it's the year of Persona. I think the year of Persona ends, the final announcement's in September this year. And I do think it's going to be Persona 6. But teaser trailer, no release date for a while. Not till like 2024, 2025, I bet.
Do you think we get a remake of the games that Prandy in particular, shout out to Prandy, would want?
No shout outs to Prandy. No, I'm joking. Shout out to Prandy.
To 2 and 3, I mean, he's getting Arena. So.
Arena's coming out. That was the first announcement, was Arena. So we have like 6 more announcements, right?
Yep.
I already did a prediction to all my announcements, but I do think we're going to get a Persona 3 remake. I think it will be one of the announcements. 2, no. They're not going to touch 1 and 2. Both 2s. Those games are going to kind of just stay in the past. 3, yes. 4, I actually do think we might even get a remake of 4, to be honest with you. They're gonna keep these games going, and I also think there's gonna be a Persona 5 Strikers 2. That game did really, really well, made a lot of money. Was one of the highest selling games of January last year, or was it February? One of the two. I think it was February. So I think it's gonna be a thing. I think we get a Strikers 2, and I do think they end the Persona 30th anniversary celebration, or is it 25th anniversary celebration, this September with a Persona 6 announcement. I think it's going to happen. Square Enix, we're going to see Final Fantasy 16 coming out next year. Forspoken already coming out, and so is Stranger in Paradise. They also have Babylon's Fall. So Square's going to be very busy this year. It's going to make a lot of money this year. I don't think we see Final Fantasy VII Remake 2 this year. And I don't know what else they're going to do going forward. It seems very Final Fantasy related. Is Avengers going to be done? What Western game? Is Lara Croft coming back? There's supposedly a new Tomb Raider game in development, right? Are we going to see that Life is Strange Remastered Collection? I think came out today, or February 1st. Or coming out February 1st in like an hour or 2.
Coming out in like a couple hours, yeah.
A couple hours. So Square, it's going to be another fantastic year for JRPGs. Not just for Atlas and Square Enix, but some of the smaller ones as well.
I think we see Final Fantasy VII Remake 2 probably at E3.
Okay.
I think, but it's not one of those things like oh, it's gonna come out this year. No, I think we're gonna see something of it. And then it comes out the next year.
Okay.
That's just my thing. I think it comes out the following year.
You think they're gonna do 2 Final Fantasies in the same year? Because I don't think they will.
I mean, they're big enough to do it. Why not?
Yeah. The only reason being is they don't want to hurt each other. At least that's how they see it. I think you could do it, but I don't think they're gonna do it. I think they're gonna.
It's Square Enix, dude. Like for me, like they can do it both in the same year, then just run off with Kingdom Hearts. Dude, Kingdom Hearts is gonna have something in April. So
yeah, well, supposedly, yeah, that's a good point. They're gonna probably announce some Kingdom Hearts stuff too this year.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
they're gonna have a very busy year. It's just how they view it and how they think. as a big conglomerate company, you don't want to overlap your games. You want to sell one Final Fantasy at a time and make as much money as possible.
I think we're at a point though where we don't need to, like, you can have 16 come out in February next year, hypothetically speaking, and then having Final Fantasy VII Remake come out in September, and you still make the most money.
Yeah.
Personally. Because, I mean, these games sell like 10 million copies in 2 months.
Yeah. I see where you're going from. It's just they're very traditional and they don't do that.
Yeah, I know you're saying that's where they're probably not going to go, but...
Yeah. I'm with you, because Sony has proven it every year. God of War and Horizon are going to come out the same year. Like, obviously, like 8 months apart, but still.
Yeah.
You have two of the biggest games this year, and Gran Turismo coming out a few weeks after Horizon.
Supposedly, Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima and what they've sold.
But they have never done that before, is what I'm just saying. They just never had two mainline Final Fantasy. They're going to make Final Fantasy 16 is going to be a big fucking deal, and they're going to take that whole fucking year and milk it. And then it's the same thing with 7 Remake Part 2. They're going to take that whole fucking year and just milk it. Because you can have Kingdom Hearts in there. They don't care. That doesn't overlap on their thing. But with 2 Final Fantasy games, it does. They're gonna milk that shit all the way.
I really hope they're not thinking that though, because when these games are ready, I want them to come out when they're ready.
Yeah.
Just because of the simple fact that
16 will be done. I don't think 7 Remake Part 2 is. I don't even know how far they're into it, to be honest with you, man.
Yeah, I mean, if I do think we see something soon. Square is the type of company, they will show you a fucking trailer and the game's not coming out for like 5 years.
Yep. I'm with you. I'm hoping we do. My gut feeling is no. For some reason. I just got a feeling Kingdom Hearts stuff. We're about to see some Final Fantasy 16 stuff.
I mean, they're probably going to show on April 10th Kingdom Hearts 4, and that game's not coming out till 2030.
They got a new Dragon Quest game, right? They technically announced last year, right? Are we going to see anything of that? So, I mean, they got a lot on their plate. And they're going to balance it accordingly to make a shit ton of money. Because that one Final Fantasy is going to make you a shit ton of money that whole year. 2 might fuck it up a little bit, in their eyes. But I'm kind of with you. I think you could. I think you really could.
I mean, if Sony does it, then you can fucking do it. Like, I mean, Sony did it with fucking Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima sold, what, 9 million copies?
Yeah.
Right?
2 weeks after.
Last of Us,
2 weeks after.
Yeah. I mean, what? You could do it. I
would like to see it. I'm just telling you how it is, though. They're not going to do it.
Yeah, no, I know.
They're not going to do it. Also, Bandai Namco, they're going to have some RPGs and stuff. Are we going to see a Scarlet Nexus 2, a Code Vein 2? Are we going to see a new IP from them? Obviously, Elden Ring's about to come out, right? That's going to be a huge for JRPGs. Some people would say even the Game of the Year favorite, right? Which is going to be interesting. With a year of God of War and Horizon, too. You're going to have Elden Ring shoved in there. So it's going to be a fascinating year for JRPGs. I'm interested to see are we going to see Vanillaware's new project. Is it going to be like a 13 Sentinels 2? Is it going to be a new game? They tend to do new IPs after each game. And 13 Sentinels was so different from Dragon's Crown and Odin Sphere. It was so excellent.
You know what game we forgot to mention? And it's the biggest game of them all that could come out. Knack 3.
I know a lot of people are hoping, man, but I don't think that joke and meme is going on. I think they realize Knack is not the wave. If they do a PlayStation All-Stars 2, I would like them to put Knack in that bitch. It'd be hilarious. Make him the best character. Make him the most broken fucking character in that
most game. Broken, overpowered character. With each hit, he just grows in strength.
what other anime games are they gonna do? Right, for Bandai Namco, their Demon Slayer just came out a couple months ago. For them, are they gonna do another IP? Were we gonna get another Dragon Ball game? I think we are actually. I think we are getting a new Dragon Ball game. Actually, Breakers, right, or something. So
Yeah.
they're going to be very busy themselves. It's going to be another great year for JRPGs.
Are they working on that My Hero game that's supposed to be free to play?
Yes, that's that too. Yeah, that might come out this year. I think we're going to get that a little bit later because My Hero is big here in the West as well, and I think they want to translate that game and stuff. Beta comes out Japan only next month, February, sometime in February.
Yeah.
What about Warner Brothers though? Are we going to see the Harry Potter game? Are we going to get the Suicide Squad game? Or are we going to get not Dark Knight? What is it? Gotham Knights game? Are we going to see any of those games this year?
I read recently that the Hogwarts game and the Gotham Knights game is supposed to be coming out this year.
Yeah,
That's still supposed to come out, but I don't know.
I read a rumor the Hogwarts game's like done. They're just waiting for Warner Brothers to like okay it through.
And Warner Brothers is in limbo with their studios.
Yep,
I know
the rights and stuff.
Yeah.
Also, Mortal Kombat 12, right? Or is it Injustice 3? Are we gonna get that from NetherRealm this year?
Probably Mortal Kombat 12 will be coming. I think that's going to be the one that's coming out first.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, Warner Brothers is very tricky.
It is.
They're tricky as well.
Sega, we know there's Sonic Frontiers, right? That's going to be a big one for them. I already mentioned all the Atlas stuff. Atlas is working on a bunch of shit. It's not just Persona stuff. There's new IPs and stuff they're working on. So I don't know if we see any of those. Possibly. But those are some of the big names that came to my mind. EA is the one we missed. EA and Jedi Fallen Order 2. I think we see that this year. I think that is going to be... I don't think it comes out this year, but I think we see Jedi Fallen Order 2 this year.
Yeah, that was rumored to be... what was it, revealed at E3, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that was rumored. And they're working on like 3 Star Wars games or some shit.
Something like that, yeah. They're on Respawn's making a shit ton of Star Wars stuff, I think.
Because I think they're losing their exclusivity, so other people can make Star Wars games now.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah, the other one we saw at Jeff Keighley's was the guys that did Quantic Dream, the guys that did Detroit Become Human, Beyond Two Souls, and Heavy Rain. They're working on a Star Wars game.
And I think they're working on the remake of Old Republic, right? Is that EA that's working on that?
Yeah, I think it is, and I think it's Sony exclusive, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that, right? It was premiered at Sony's thing. And I think they have exclusive rights to it, so yeah. That I think that is EA. So obviously all their sports shit, they're gonna make a shit ton of money on that. But they're gonna make a lot of money on Star Wars. Year. What happened?
They won a game in a year. They won with Takes Two. One game in a year. They could go suck it for saying that single player games are dying years ago.
They definitely changed their tune on that pretty quickly because they realized they realized the error of their ways. Probably too soon to see another game from Joseph Fares because It Takes Two just came out. Yeah. So I don't know. They definitely are in the indie space, so they're going to do some more indie stuff. But those were the biggest companies I was thinking of. You have anything you were thinking of before we end it?
No, I don't know.
I think we covered all the big ones that we discuss on this channel all the time. I think the only one we didn't talk, some of the only ones we didn't talk about, maybe is Kojima Studio, Remedy. What's going on with that abandoned game? Is Sony going to do the Konami stuff? Are we going to see Silent Hill? Are we going to see Metal Gear or Castlevania? What's going on with all that shit? Sony
Well,
was
we know
going
what
hard on all that stuff.
we know what Remedy's doing, but they're doing the Alan Wake 2 game,
Yep, Alan Wake 2.
and they're supposedly doing Control 2. Since
Yep.
now that they've just connected those two,
Universes,
so
yep.
yeah, so I could see. Yeah, I think they're done, Remedy, for the year.
Kojima's probably working on Death Stranding 2, and then that Microsoft game. I think he's definitely working on 2 stuff. Norman Reedus let the cat out of the bag. I do think there's something to Silent Hill. There's something to Silent Hill. We've been hearing about this shit forever. There's something to it, but there might be an issue with it or something. Because I feel like that game was supposed to be announced already. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm not. That's been going on for about 2, maybe 3 years now.
Yes.
So that's very puzzling to me. We heard about they supposedly were gonna acquire those 3 games, and that was like 2.5 years ago.
About
that
2
was
years
a long
ago.
time ago that article came out.
Well, about 1.5 years ago, because they it was the unveiling of the PS5.
Yeah, it was. It might have been longer than that was rumored, though.
No, it came out right after that announcement of the PS5, that showcase. I remember it clear as day because I was like, oh, shit. And it turned out to be pretty true. We know shit's going on. But what is really going on? Is Bluepoint... What's Bluepoint's next project? We kind of didn't go over every single Sony studio. But Bluepoint was rumored to be doing a Metal Gear remake, right? Is that what they're doing? Or are they doing Bloodborne? Now it's Bloodborne they're supposedly doing. So
I do think a remaster of Bloodborne is coming soon.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention that earlier.
Well,
I did.
Not only that, but Bluepoint was making Bloodborne 2 with Miyazaki, which is crazy. They would remaster Bloodborne PS4, and then they're doing Bloodborne 2. That's supposedly what's going on. But also, that Metal Gear rumor's been strong. And we know Sony has prepared themselves, studio-wise, to do multiple games. But that's nuts. If that's true. If they're working on all that shit. That would be insane. But look at Insomniac. Look at their output. They have been the most efficient Sony studio. Almost every year they got new games.
Yeah, they're working on multiple things at a time, too.
Yeah, and they're doing... Now they had the huge surprise of Wolverine they're fucking doing. You know? We were like, oh yeah, of course Spider-Man 2's coming. Oh shit, Wolverine's coming? Like, what the hell? So that's really interesting. They've been hella efficient. So that's just some of the stuff we've been thinking of. It's been... We took a good amount of your guys' time. We appreciate it. Shout out to Lou for coming on the pod, helping me out on this one. Shout out to Shannon and Seth and everybody that's going to watch this later. I know a lot of you guys watch it throughout. Well, there's going to be more content for this week. I'll do a Bungie video, and I'll also do a video on Pokemon Legends Arceus. I covered a little bit of those things here, but I'll talk more about them in the video. So it'll be a pretty fun week video-wise for us here on the channel, but we appreciate all the love and support. Sorry this pod took a while to get to, and hopefully the next one won't take as long. We'll get to it pretty quick, probably in a couple weeks when more content comes out. It was just perfect timing for this stuff. The Bungie news today, I think it made a lot of sense. But shout out to Lou for helping me out on the pod today. You know, Happy New Year to everybody. Hard to believe the first month is over already. But let's just keep it going. Let's have a lot of fun on the channel this year. We'll keep the grind growing. I've been your fellow Strassman of the GG. That's Lou. And we're outie.
See ya.
Oops.